The Galactic Council's emergency session had been called to order with unprecedented urgency. Representatives from 47 species filled the crystalline amphitheater, their various forms of communication creating a cacophony of clicks, whistles, telepathic bursts, and bioluminescent flashes. At the center of it all sat Ambassador Zethkar of the Vortanian Empire. His 6 eyes focused intently on the holographic display floating before them. "The situation is critical," Zethkar announced, his voice carrying through the universal translators. "The Omega barrier has been breached." A collective gasp rippled through the assembly. The Catherine representative's crystalline body dimmed with shock, while the aquatic Mirdulli delegation released emergency pheromones into their environmental suits. Even the stoic Silicon Lords shifted their massive forms uneasily. "Impossible," declared High Counselor Vrexna, her tentacles writhing in agitation. "The Omega barrier has protected our galaxy for over 3 million cycles. The dark matter storms beyond it would tear apart any known vessel. The gravitational anomalies alone would crush any ship attempting passage," interrupted the Zephyrian delegate, his gaseous form flickering nervously. "Our most advanced shielding technology cannot withstand even a fraction of those forces." Zethkar's primary eye swiveled toward the assembled council. "That's what we believed. However, our deep space monitoring stations have confirmed it. Something has not only breached the barrier, but has traveled through the maelstrom beyond and is now approaching our outer systems." The hologram shifted, displaying sensor readings that made several representatives recoil. Energy signatures unlike anything in their databases scrolled across the display. The vessel, if it could be called that, was impossibly small by galactic standards, yet the power readings suggested technology far beyond their understanding. "What manner of being could achieve such a feat?" whispered the ethereal collective spokesman, his translucent form barely visible. Before Zethkar could respond, an urgent transmission crackled through the chamber's communication array. A panicked voice belonging to Station Commander Kolthek of the outermost monitoring post filled the air. Council, are you receiving? The thing, it's here. It's actually communicating with us." "Patch it through immediately," Zethkar commanded. The transmission quality was poor, filled with static from the exotic energies surrounding the mysterious vessel. But through the interference came a voice, clear, confident, and speaking perfect galactic standard. "Greetings, Galactic Council. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Indomitable. I understand you've been having some concerns about my arrival." The chamber fell silent. Several representatives began rapid consultations with their databases, searching for any reference to Earth or humans. The results were uniformly negative. "Unknown entity," Zethkar began carefully. "You claim to have traversed the Omega barrier. Our scientists have deemed such passage impossible for any known technology or life form." A sound came through the transmission. Laughter. Warm, genuine human laughter that somehow managed to convey both amusement and a hint of pride. "Yeah, we get that a lot," Captain Chen replied. "Though I have to say impossible is kind of our specialty." High Counselor Vrexna leaned forward, her multiple brains working in synchronization. "The energy readings we're detecting from your vessel suggest you've harnessed forces that should not be controllable. Dark matter manipulation, quantum fold drives, gravitational field generators that operate beyond theoretical limits." "Oh, that old thing?" Chen's voice carried a casual dismissal that sent shivers through the assembly. "We threw that together about 6 months ago. Had to jury-rig most of it from spare parts when our main drive got damaged, fighting off some rather unpleasant things in what you call the maelstrom beyond." The Silicon Lord delegate, whose species had existed for over 1,000,000 years, spoke in subsonic tones that made the chamber vibrate. "You speak of the devourers of the void. No organic species has ever survived an encounter with them." "Devourers?" Chen sounded thoughtful. "Oh, you mean those squid things with the reality-bending tentacles? Yeah, they were pretty upset when we started mapping their territory. Good thing we brought extra missiles." Several representatives began showing physical signs of distress. The Vortanians' eye stalks were twitching uncontrollably, while the Myrtili were releasing stress enzymes at dangerous levels. You fought them? Vrexna's voice barely functioned. Fought, negotiated, eventually became drinking buddies with a few of them. Turns out they're actually pretty reasonable. Once you get past the whole cosmic horror beyond mortal comprehension thing, we set up a few trade routes through their space. They make excellent quantum processors. Zethkar found his voice, though it came out as more of a croak. Captain Chen, if I may ask, how long has your species possessed such advanced technology? Oh, we don't. The statement hung in the air like a physical weight. I'm sorry, Zethkar managed. We don't have advanced technology, Chen explained cheerfully. At least not by our standards. We're still using chemical rockets for most of our local system transport. This ship is basically held together with duct tape, determination, and what our engineers like to call aggressive optimism. The ethereal collective's representative flickered out of existence momentarily, overwhelmed by the impossibility of what they were hearing. Then how? The question came from dozens of delegates simultaneously. Well, Chen said, and they could hear the smile in her voice, we heard it couldn't be done. And if there's one thing humans have never been particularly good at, it's listening to people who tell us something can't be done. The transmission paused for a moment, filled only with the background hum of impossible engines. Besides, Captain Chen continued, we were curious what was on the other side. And once a human gets curious about something, well, we tend to go find out regardless of whether it's supposed to be possible or not. As the implications of first contact with humanity began to sink in across the Galactic Council, one thought echoed in every mind present. Their galaxy would never be the same again. After all, they had just encountered a species that treated the impossible as merely another engineering challenge to be solved with creativity, stubbornness, and apparently duct tape.